What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Gonzo, and as you can see, I'm going to be talking to a bunch of... Oh, look, there he is. It's Spooky Ghost Man, a.k.a. Sexy Jesus, a.k.a. just Joshin. How you doing, my friend?
Doing pretty good, man. What's going on?
Hey, it's going. We're going to say hello to a Grumpy Charizard and Cardboard Addicts really quick in the chat. But let's get right into... I don't see, this is why my wife doesn't let me have anything fancy, because I have these scissors for the package I showed you, and now I can't stop playing with them. So I'm going to put you kind of out of arm's reach. But let's get into the conversation at hand, Josh. Joshua, Josh, I don't know what to call you half the time, because we're always giving you a new name every time you're in a group setting. How would you like to be called?
Sexy Jesus is nice.
Sexy Jesus it is. No one. DPM raid. Not yet, apparently. If he does it again, though, I will cry. I already told him this. I was like, the first time I knew you were coming, just because people can't keep secrets. The second time, no idea. So this, if it happens again, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna go outside, walk around my park. But how you doing, Elliot, Offsetter, Johnny? So Sexy Jesus, my friend. Oh, I know I noticed it before, but it's so prominent right now. Let's talk about Pokemon in a second. I want to know your favorite Green Lantern. Because of that tattoo. Ooh. John Stewart. John, if you guys don't know John Stewart, you did not grow up in the 90s. We'll just make it simple. Is green your favorite lantern color, though?
No.
What's your favorite color?
I'm not gonna lie. I have to go probably red lanterns. I think red lanterns are like the most cool or like extreme.
Well, they're the most vicious and rage filled. They are the Rage Lanterns.
Exactly.
So I could see that.
I am a Dexstar. It's fantastic.
I am a Blue Lantern fan myself. Just mostly because that's what the Lantern the Flash is when he does get his rings. I'm a simp for the Flash. I'll say. Well, Brawly Pools, how you doing, my friend? See, there's people showing up, but there's no sick house. I see you somewhere. Don't worry, guys. Someone will raid. I'm sure that we'll get more people. I'm not worried about that. But let's get back to Josh, Sexy Jesus, my friend. So how did you end up? I don't see. I should have took my meds today, because now I'm like, hey, that's shiny. How did you get into the world of Pokemon YouTube?
So I actually never even really wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I am friends with a guy. He's not really so much active anymore, but back in the day, there was a guy named Joneson for Pokemon.
Yeah. I know him.
No?
Yeah.
He was like my first YouTube PokeTuber friend that I like talked to, not just in comments, but like would message and like, talk to each other.
Right.
And Galele Games.
Yeah.
Was setting up. Yeah. He was setting up a charity pack battle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the caveat was that you had to have a channel and like post the video so that you could like prove your pulls and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so I just kind of hastily put together a channel. I didn't even like just Joshin, like was not even. It was just kind of like a stupid name that I picked instantly. Like I didn't think about it at all.
Hey, at least you did something, because I was a friend of Glalie for Vito for a long time. Still am. I wish he was a little more active again. But I was part of both of the charity battles, and those were really fun. But I forgot that you had to have a channel to do it. It sucks, because a lot of those people aren't around anymore, and I wish they were, because Glalie, Elite Four Meeks, all those guys. All those guys. Like, I don't want to say a lot of them are probably like, oh, I didn't get to 1,000 subs as fast as I wanted to, or I'm not like making money like I want, so I'm out. Like, but the passion, I did see the passion die off very quickly for a lot of people, unfortunately. I'm glad you're sticking around because, oh, hey, Ian with Ian, how you doing, you sexy nerd? I'm just kidding. I had a lot of fun with Ian and little Ian this weekend. I saw Grumpy in here. He wants to talk Dragon Ball with you a little bit. I don't know nothing about Dragon Ball, so yeah, maybe I'll have a group podcast with just you two and leave you alone. Why did you continue to do the Pokemon stuff after that video?
I did the video, and while I was editing it, and this is like, I actually went back about a month or two ago and watched some of my original videos, and they're just absolute trash when it comes to editing. Like they look completely terrible. Not that my editing is any better, really. Like I still suck at editing, but
I know the feeling. I sent a video to Joey last night. I'm like, hey, is this worth it? And he's like, no. I was like, okay.
Just don't.
Just don't. Yeah.
I wish somebody would tell me to not do half the things I do, but
well, send me some of your videos. I'll let you know what's going on, if it's worth it, what's not worth it. Take some notes.
It's all worth it to me, dude.
Yeah. Hey, but if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Like your was it lift your I can't remember the challenge name right now, where you open up a pack and whatever the hit is, you squat. Yeah. I'm waiting for you to get a Steelix. just die. You're gonna break your back.
Well, I think the heaviest we've gone is 335 from this last one, and it wasn't even. I was only supposed to do 260, but Marcus Scraper was like, "Oh, I can't do that much weight," and I think he can. I think he's just full of crap. So I was like, "I'll just take 75 pounds from you. It's fine."
Not a big deal.
So I think once we cross the 380, 390 threshold, that's usually where I like to stay. It's like 380 to like 420 is my presumed high range.
Yeah, the last time I squat to like actually for weight for a 1 rep max was like 2-3 years ago, a little bit before COVID, and I was not well into the 500 club, but I was in the 500 club. But now if I do it, like let's warm up, let's stretch out these muscles, because if you go straight to like I do 500 and you just go into a gym and squat 500, everything's gonna rip. Your quads are gonna rip, your calves are gonna rip, and you're gonna die because they're gonna fall straight onto your spine.
Yep.
But if I went to a gym, warmed up a little bit, I might, if I'm lucky, might be able to hit 230, 250. But I need to get back into it hard, especially with my doctor. She's like, hey, you're fat. Fix it. Okay.
Yeah. I think it would be harder now because I have hit well above 500 before.
Yeah.
But never during a cut phase, which is what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
So like weight moves weight. The more I cut, the heavier that weight starts to get on my back, it feels like.
Yeah. Grumpy says his heaviest squat to date is 520.
Nice. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's a good weight. Can he squat me though? Probably not, because I'll hit him with an elbow like in wrestling.
Yeah. I like to move around.
Yeah. Can't catch me.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm assuming I know who your favorite Pokemon is. I'm assuming a lot of people do. So, but I want you to explain to us why your favorite Pokemon is Caterpie.
Well, Caterpie was the first Pokemon Ash ever caught.
That is true. That is a fact.
That is. I mean, it is.
Because you can't say he caught Pikachu. Pikachu was given to him.
Exactly.
So yeah. So, but why is Gengar your favorite Pokemon of all time?
I mean, for me, Gengar has always resonated because he's like always laughing at weird stuff that nobody else finds amusing. And Gengar is like super creepy. And I feel like I'm super creepy most of the time.
Most of the time.
I don't know. Just like something about Gengar I like. Just his whole demeanor, like his childlike pranks. That, but at the same time, it's like he doesn't know his own strength. And like he doesn't know how powerful he is. So like sometimes his pranks are like, oh god, like you almost killed somebody.
Grumpy says Gengar is dead, so it's different for him.
I mean,
he's not wrong. Anyone want to challenge?
Inside, so.
Safe wants to know. Anyone want to challenge in a heavy weight at gym? I don't. Is he asking if we want to have a bench off or a squat off? Is that what you're asking, Safe? Because it sounds like you want to make like fight a heavyweight champion in the gym. So I don't know. We'll find out.
I'm in.
I'm in. Of course you're in. You want us to see? You want to have a Pokemon boxing whole tournament, and I'm in on that too. I don't see why not.
Right? Why not?
Yeah. Besides Gengar, is there any other Pokemon that just and I know one that I want to bring up, and I'm gonna wait to see if you talk about it first. Is there any other Pokemon that besides Gengar that you absolutely love, that you're always going to be on the hunt for cards, for shirts, plushies, anything like that? Like that's a Pokemon. Like, oh, I know that Pokemon, or I love that one. I'm picking it up.
Yeah.
Who else are you picking up?
I'll give you I'm going to let you guess. How about that? I'll let you guess.
Okay, so the Pokemon I know you're always on the hunt for is Swablu, but that's because of, is it your wife or your girlfriend that wants it?
My wife.
Your wife, because at card party, at card party, you brought it up. You got really excited when someone showed off a Swablu from Crown Zenith, and you're like, oh, I need it. And you're like, I have to have it. Everyone's like, what's a Swablu? You're like, shut up, you don't understand. Then you feel the same. Yeah. So Swablu, I know, is one you're always on the hunt for. What are ones that you are on the hunt for besides the ghost Pokemon?
Guess. I want you to guess.
Yes. Okay, another guess.
I want to see if you can read me, right? Am I an open book? Paint me like one of your French girls, Jack.
Open book. Let's see. Let's go with one of the waifu Pokemon because you might be a little creeper. Let's go with Gardevoir. No, good. I was working. All right, stream's over. He's a Gardevoir freak. We're out, boys. Probably likes Vaporeon with the. Oh man. Okay.
Nope.
Are we gonna do 21 questions about it? Try to narrow it down. Okay,
that's fine.
Is it a quadruped?
No. I had to think about what that meant.
They walk on all fours.
No, it's biped.
It's biped. Okay. Is that the final evolution or all stages of it?
It's a final evolution.
Okay. Were the previous evolutions quadrupeds?
No.
Okay, so it's not Incineroar. Machamp. Okay. It's so it has legs because you said it's biped.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Is it yes or no questions, or can we ask the typing?
You can ask the typing.
Okay. Is it another ghost type?
No.
Dragon?
No.
Fighting?
No.
Okay, we're gonna go down the line with this one. Normal. Water. Electric. Fire. Bug. Steel. Ice. What type am I missing? Dark. Okay. Charizard. Everyone's saying Charizard. No, it's not Charizard. Flying would be in the. I think. How many types did I name already?
A lot. More than I honestly remember there were.
Okay, I did normal, water, flying, glass. Fucking the hail. What else we already said Gengar. We know Gengar. Oh, fairy. So it's not Mimikyu. Steel. We said fairy, steel, poison. Okay.
I think you've exhausted your 21 questions.
Well, yeah, going through all 18 types would do that to you. All right, give us one or two more clues.
Okay. Gengar used to be this type.
What do you mean? It's always been Ghost and Poison.
I know, but what was the energy on the card?
Oh, Psychic. Alakazam. Alakazam. Yeah. Damn.
I like.
I went through every type except Psychic. Yeah. Yeah. So that's. How do you feel with? Well, obviously you collect the Pokemon cards. How do you feel about Kadabra getting the love it deserves after the magician lifted his restraining order and copyright infringement and all that other stuff on Pokemon for Kadabra?
Oh, dude, I'm super excited. To be honest, I think for me, that guy was as lame as Marvel when they tried to say, "Oh, we're gonna take Captain Marvel's name because it has Marvel in it." Like,
shut your dirty mouth. And that's, it wasn't a restraining order. I don't remember what they called it, but Uri Geller is the magician we're talking about. He sued Pokemon for copyright infringement and a bunch of other stuff because he said Kadabra looked too much like him. That's not a joke. That's why Kadabra never showed up in the Pokemon card TCG because of that guy. Yes, he showed up in the games, but he never got any printed love. I don't think he was in the anime that often either because of that.
No, but the only time I can really think of it is during the first season with Sabrina. After that, I really can't think of another time where I remember seeing Kadabra in the anime.
Yeah, and to put into perspective what Uri Geller looks like is right over here. Nope, I don't want to add a camera. I want to add a screen.
He looks like a jerk is what he looks like.
Yeah. So this is what this dude looks like. He totally looks like a Pokemon to me. I mean, yeah, but that was his whole thing was that's why Kadabra looked too much like him is because of the spoon and something else, because that was his whole shtick when he was somewhat famous for a magician, I guess, was he would bend the spoons, and that's why he went after Pokemon. It was so stupid. Yeah, dude wants his roses now that he lifted the suit. Yeah, like did you see the statement that he wrote? He's like, I want to be part of the Pokemon community. Like, I've been a part of them for years. I want a good partnership. Like, nah, you're just running out of money. You want people to talk about you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were a flash in the pan in the early 90s, and now you're nothing.
We definitely don't want you in the community because you bogarted an entire Pokemon for like 20 years. So
yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's why Alakazam, like, when he did get cards, it was straight, like, V cards or V Max or hey, I bet you $5 you want to open that.
I owe you $5.
So, speaking of opening things, I already talked to you off stream. My wife wants me to open this. It was in the mail. I don't know what it is, but it was a birthday present. She wants me to open it with you on camera. So let's find out what it is.
Should I play something loving on guitar for like a background music?
Bro, you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
So I gotta take you off stream or off the camera so you can see it. It's a license plate cover. I don't know who Suru Regime is, but we got all the ghost types: Mimikyu, Duskull, Ghastly, Gengar, Haunter, Shuppet, and Driftloon. That is sick.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, as one should be. That is really cool.
That was
yeah. I don't know why she got it, but I'm not mad at her. I will put it up on the car when I can. Yo, that's dope.
In the mouth.
Yeah, roller coaster of love. Go figure. Yeah. Yeah, that is really cool. Now you have to open up your fossil pack to see what's better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I open up a $20 license plate frame. You open up a couple $100 Pokemon pack. Do it. I don't know what are the hits, because I know you shown that off before. What are the hits in that you're looking for an avatar thing?
There are secret rares. There are double rares.
There's a dog.
There's a dog.
Yeah.
And then Mellow Mel got my first Avatar rare. Hey, shut up.
Eat the dog.
So,
oh, so it's a card game, not an actual collectible or not an actual trading card.
yeah.
That's cool.
I'm on podcast.
Don't apologize. It's all his fault. He didn't communicate.
I did communicate. I told her. So yeah, there are Avatar rares and there are secret rares. Those are like the big hits.
What's the difference between an Avatar rare and a secret rare?
One is secret.
Fuck, I'll just go fuck myself. All right. Besides Pokemon and are you excited for the Avatar live action from Netflix?
I am hesitant.
Yeah,
yes.
Is that a card you need or want, or is that a good one? What are we looking at?
Double rare.
Double rare. I know that's tough. If people, I feel like Avatar is like, don't get me wrong, it's a great show. I really love it, but I don't understand how some people give it the hype that it has.
You better watch your mouth right now. I will leave this stream.
I apologize, Daddy. What are your hesitations? What are you so like? Let's stand back a little bit. Let's watch what they're doing. Let's wait for the first episode until we make a decision.
I mean, did you not see M. Night Shyamalan just completely drop a sick fat deuce on the entire franchise?
I think that is an understatement over anything. I mean, Ong was amazing. It was such a terrible movie.
I will say so bad right now.
So bad. It was. I don't even know how to describe the Avatar movie because I don't even remember what they called it. I think they just called it the Last Airbender or Airbender. Yeah. So it was hot garbage, and no wonder.
I was so excited for it. Like
a lot of people were excited. Yeah, because I think it was still fairly after. I want to say fairly new after the series ended, but it was so bad, and I think that's what killed the momentum of that series, and that's why people love it. I think that's probably the biggest reason why people love the cartoon more than the movie, or the movie is garbage.
I mean, yeah.
Like, I just don't think it would have been as hyped up as a series if it wasn't for how bad the movie was. It's just an opinion, but it's based on fact and science. Adriana, how you doing?
It's based on lies and nonsense, but all right, whatever.
M. Night hasn't made a good movie since The Sixth Sense. I don't know. What was it? Glass was pretty good.
I like The Visit.
The what?
The Visit.
The Visit was good. What's the other movie that they made with Glass with the guy with the multiple personalities? That was a decent one. Split was a decent one. Those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head that were good after The Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Well,
I hated Signs.
Signs was cool.
No. It was decent until the end, where it's like, there's water. Let's get the bro who's been depressed all along with a baseball bat, who probably in real life would have done himself in before aliens even got to the barn. And he just started smacking glasses all over the place, and like, he's the hero. No, he's not. That picky ass little girl's the hero, because if it wasn't for her leaving water all over the place, he would have nothing to do.
Are you gonna sit there and tell me though that alien reveal scene, like where they're
in Mexico?
Yeah, you're gonna tell me that wasn't a great piece of cinematic history?
Yeah.
All right.
That's how I feel about Signs. It was a meh movie.
What I watched right now.
That's fair. I'm not gonna disagree with you. Like, would I watch Signs again just so I can be like, you know what, I haven't watched in a long time. Let's see if it's as bad as I remember. Yeah. Am I going to do it to Avatar? Absolutely not.
No, God, no. It is as bad as you remember, possibly worse.
I don't doubt it. You know what movie I did do that to the other night was From Dusk Till Dawn 2. I watched. There's a sequel, From Dusk Till Dawn.
I didn't even know there was a sequel.
It's actually a trilogy. I'd never seen the third one because the second one was so bad when I was younger that I didn't watch it. So I saw it on HBO Max and was like, you know what? It's been a while. Let's see if it's as bad. And I got like maybe 30 minutes into the movie. I'm like, yeah, I'm over it. I'm done.
It is as bad as I remember.
Yeah. The highlight of the movie is Bruce Campbell, and he's only in it for like 5 minutes.
Dude,
because Bruce Campbell is a legend.
Have you ever seen Bubba Hotep?
Maybe a long time ago.
It's got Bruce Campbell in it. It's like a super B-list weird movie, like one of my favorite movies of all time.
I know I've heard of it. I just don't think I've ever seen it. Grumpy says Split was okay. I mean, again, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Because of his movies, people are either it's okay or it's amazing. Yeah, except The Last Avatar. That's when everyone's like, nope, terrible. Yeah. Terrible movie.
Everyone in the world agreed that was just a complete doo-doo fest.
And that's being nice about it.
Yeah. If I wasn't keeping it PG right now, I would let you know like how it really is.
Yeah. Like I heard he apparently, it's just a rumor, but apparently he did put in a bid to be the director for the Detective Pikachu movie. And I guess one of the responses was, no, we saw what you did to the last time you made a childhood favorite movie. What is that? Is that a Selena cup?
Yeah.
Yes. Selena's amazing.
She is.
Selena. Yeah. I like all the Hispanics. Selena.
Dude, yeah. Every Hispanic person has to have at least one piece of Selena memorabilia. Dude, before Mello and I moved out to Washington from Texas, our last trip together in Texas, we went down to Corpus Christi and went to the Selena Museum. It was awesome.
Yeah, my cousin used to be a police officer for Corpus Christi, and he was like, dude, every summer when it's around the anniversary of her death, the people of Corpus Christi go nuts. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, there's like no riots or anything. It's just like there's a whole parade for Selena. I was like, where she died? Isn't that a little morbid? And they're like, yeah, it is. I was like, but well, I mean, it's people, we do weirder things for Day of the Dead.
I was about to say, that was literally about to be my point. Like, can we really say it's that morbid considering one of our most sacred holidays is all about talking to dead people?
Yeah. And it's not even, it's, and that's a lot of things that people don't understand. It's not a one-day event. It's multiple days for Day of the Dead. I'm only half Mexican. Even I'm like, yeah, Day of the Dead. That sounds cool. And I'm like, wait a minute. We do what? We're going to sleep where over the weekend? Hold on, guys. Like, I've seen a lot of movies. There's going to be a dead guy popping out of that tomb soon. Because I know there's...
Have your ofrenda?
Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah, we do. Because I'm married to a Filipina. So we have a lot of this very similar cultures. Adriana says, has the Fire Nation taken control of you to be speaking such blasphemy before?
Yes. Exactly, Gonzo.
Yes.
Ooh, it doesn't deserve. It's possibly one of, if not potentially, the greatest animated series for children of all time. Does it deserve the hype? Yes.
I don't get me wrong. I'm excited for the series, but I'm more excited just because they're getting the accuracies right, and even the people writing were like, nope, this is how you pronounce it. And like, I guess some of the writers made some of the producers watch the series. Like, no, if you want to say you watch the source,
dude, yeah. You better watch the source. Like,
that's like how, and that was the crazy thing to me when I saw the movie is like, why are they saying it like like it's a dung beetle? Like there's
the Avatar.
Yeah, there's so many episodes. It's a whole series that tell you how to pronounce the name of everything. But no, the other thing that threw me off is the bending itself in the movie.
Oh my God.
Like the Fire Nation had to have a fire source.
So dumb.
Yeah, and then the Rock Nation, the Earth Nation, when they're bending the floating rock, I'm like, why are we scared of the Earth Nation?
Rock Nation.
Just fucking move. Yeah, exactly. Just move out of the way. You'll be good. They can't move. Apparently, they can't move that fast.
No, apparently.
Retro Pokemon gaming, how you doing? Yeah, exactly. The only one that you should fear in the movie apparently is air, because I don't even remember the water bending at all. Like it was that bad. I don't remember any of the water bending. The fire bending, they had to have a fire source. Earth bending, it looked cool, but then when the rock popped up, it was like, we're going to get you.
It was like this big.
Just stay still. We're going to get you.
They were doing like all these things, and there's like a little pebble flying at you. I was like,
yeah, it reminds me of my kids when they're when they would go in the corner to poop. It's like, you son of a bitch, you got me all hyped up for nothing. It's so bad. Am I gonna watch it? I'll watch it. Should we do a watch party of it? Absolutely.
Okay.
For the people who drink, will we make a drinking game? That would be fun too, because I like watching people get drunk because I can't do it anymore.
Well, did you see they're doing like more Avatar stuff on Paramount Plus? Like the original creators are going to make a series about the Avatar after Avatar Korra, so 2 Avatars past Aang, and they're going to do like origin stories for Kyoshi and some of the older Avatars.
That one I'm excited for. I want a whole series on Kyoshi. Dude, because she was a badass.
She has a whole graphic novel series that's fantastic.
I don't know how to read. If I did, I wouldn't have joined the military.
Oh, okay.
That's not true. I love reading because I'm a huge comic book nerd. Are you reading comics at the moment? Because obviously you're a comic nerd, or at least superhero nerd.
Right now, I'm finishing up Dark Crisis, and then I'm moving on to the new Shazam, aka Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel,
the real Captain Marvel.
Yeah, exactly, the real one. Let's go to the chat really quick. We have everyone saying hello to everyone popping in. Nothing could be worse than the Dragon Ball live action movie. I'd rather watch that piece of hot garbage than the Avatar movie. We have Powder TCG. Yo, what's going on? How y'all doing? We got Powder. Oh, hey, whoa. Yeah, I'm 100% would much rather watch. I would rather watch the Dragon Ball movie over Avatar. But I know you love both series. If you had to sit down and watch one of them, who's it going to be and why?
Can I opt to like donate a kidney instead, or is it like I have to do this?
No, you have to pick one. Either you have to pick one, or you don't donate a kidney because that would be doing beneficial work for the society of the world, or we chop off a pinky toe on each one. No, not even the pinky toe, because you don't need that anymore because of evolution. Cut off both big toes.
Oh, dude, take them toes.
Take them toes.
Now, I guess if I like had to pick one.
Are you pooping?
I mean, basically,
I'd rather poop. I'd rather shit myself on camera than talk about it. It's that.
Yeah. Well, it's like Pokey Diz was telling that story yesterday about how when he was a kid, he pooped his pants so he wouldn't miss the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show.
Oh man, okay, that's how my mind works. My son, we recently just watched the old ones that I grew up with in the 90s with Corey Feldman as one of the turtles.
Yeah,
we watched the first 2, and obviously I loved them. My son was like, they're creepy, but I like them. So he's been on a TMNT binge lately. He's been watching everything he can watch on Netflix. I think the only one that I refuse to let him watch is the one where they travel back in time to feudal Japan, and the Michael Bay turtle movies. I won't let him watch those. I don't want to break his little spirit and heart, because those were bad.
I wouldn't want to look at anything Michael Bay made either. I get that.
Yeah. Is there any Michael Bay movie you would watch besides the first Transformer? Because that's the only one that can come to my head that's good.
I would watch the battle sequences of Pearl Harbor and nothing else.
Yeah.
Because those were actually quite well done. Everything else was just...
It was bad. Powder says the one where they go back in time is bad, but that animated TMNT movie. I'm glad he brought that up. Did you know that is in chronological order and is supposed to be sequel to those three movies?
Really?
Yep. Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be, but none of the characters look like they're supposed to, or how they looked in the 90s. But yeah, that animated movie that Nickelodeon did is supposed to be the fourth one in that movie lineup. Yeah, I learned that just a couple years ago. From the mid, yeah.
I know that's super specific, but I mean, the battle sequence was like literally the only good part of so, dude.
Like watching the movie Pearl Harbor is like watching Oppenheimer. I know what happens at the end. Spoiler alert: things go boom.
Do you watch the DC animated movies?
Absolutely.
Bro, have you seen Batman meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, it's in my Blu-ray player out front in the living room because my son had to watch it. It is amazing. I have 2 autographed number 1s of that comic book series signed by Kevin Eastman and graded. I have the black and white cover art and then the original cover art. Okay. Yeah. But that's the plus side of living in San Diego. I have a local legend, Kevin Eastman, here, so I don't see him like it's not like I see him everywhere, but he does so many signings, it's ridiculous.
You're not fronting like he's your best friend?
Not yet. Not like like Alex. Do you know who Alex Sinclair is?
Yeah.
He's a comic book colorist. Mm-hmm. He's also local. And he got my I don't know how much details I can put out. So I kind of know him, like, well, I do know him, like more on a personal level than Kevin Eastman, because so his daughter is married to one of my best friends. So that's like, and it's never like, hey, Jay, can you hook me up with your father-in-law, for some goodies? And like, it's never been like that because I think that's weird and creepy. But he was like, hey, or like it was my last year's birthday. My buddy was like, hey, this is my father-in-law's phone number. Don't hand it out. Don't be weird, but text him because he knows you're going to be texting him. I was like, okay, why? And so I text him and he was like, oh, cool. Hey, we're going to meet up at this local comic book shop. I have something for you. Oh, okay. And and it took us a while to match up and get times that we can actually meet up at. Hey, what's going on, Gasly? How you doing? Hi, Laura. Hi, Kenny. But I brought my son with me to the comic book store because I was like, hey, we're at a comic book store. Let's pick up some stuff. He signed. It's over here on this wall, and I can't move it right now. And I don't want to take it down because my wife would yell at me. But it's a full-on poster print of the Flash where he went back in time to World War II, fought with Flash, Wonder Woman, Hitler. Well, not with them. He to fight against Hitler and all that stuff. I got that signed by him, and a Flashpoint comic that he helped color signed. And my son got some stuff signed because it took so long to meet up that it was my son's birthday, and he was like, oh, cool. And he just grabbed some stuff off on the shelf that he worked with, signed it, and paid. He was like, hey, this is theirs. And the guy who owned it, he goes, all right, Alex. I was like, must be nice. And so, but right now I'm currently reading Hush, because I was like, hey, what are you working on that you're like, you think I should read that? He's like, oh, Hush, easy. I was like, okay, I'll read Hush.
Have you not read Hush before?
I have, but the Hush that he had me get was a brand new, was not a special edition, but it was a new, well, yeah, it was a special edition hardcover graphic novel size of it. And it has, like, I think he said there's an extra two chapters in it. So I'm finally getting around to read that. But because because of, like, I'm sure a lot of us, if you're going to read something, you're going to read it from the beginning, not just the whole new chapters. So I'm currently reading that again. And then, but Hush, the movie was done pretty well too, even though there's so much they have to take out just to fit it into the animated time frame.
And the completely different ending.
Yeah. but I don't want to spoil it for the people who don't want to watch it. Read the book, nerds.
Yeah, read the book. The book is
so much
probably top 4 or 5 graphic novels of all time.
Yeah, and which is weird because a lot of people don't agree with that because it's a modern book. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the modern stories, they're okay, but a lot of the Golden and Silver Age storylines, way better.
Oh yeah,
Grumpy not reading.
Crisis on Infinite Earths is probably number 1 and probably always will be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Smoking Dizard says, "I'm lurking and watching a. I'm assuming he's talking about American Horror Story, new episode of Futurama. Josh, your hair looks really nice today. And Gonzo, I really like the hat. Thank you. My hair looks awful because I'm growing it out because of mullet reasons. But I also bought a new hat, so I have to wear it and show it off so my wife doesn't beat me for spending $20 on a hat. The beanie. Did you see the beanie that the Pokemon Center posted with it looks like Gengar is supposed to be crawling on your head?
What is it?
I'll show you. It's a weird thing. Let's go to hats, socks, jewelry. I'm assuming it's under hats. This thing, this abomination. Share screen.
He doesn't get it.
I don't get nothing. This thing.
That's crazy. You mean like this one that's on my head right now?
Is it the one that's on your head right now? Oh, I'll just go fuck myself.
The changing of the hats.
I didn't see it. I was too busy looking it up. Happy Monday, Artemis. Gonzo, he's wearing the day match. Shut up, guys. If I knew how to look, I wouldn't be here. It's the same Gonzo as just Josh. And yes, thank you, guys.
I like it.
I okay, cool. I don't know. Okay. Anyways.
I like it so much I'm retiring this one.
That was the one I thought you were wearing earlier.
It was.
Motherfucker. See, it's your fault. I was I'm gonna go home. Thanks everybody for stopping in. I'm gonna go drink myself to sleep.
Here, I'll flip it this way so you can see his butt cheeks.
It's thick, but God, look at that hair. Your hair is very luxurious. I'm jealous of it.
Thanks, man.
Gonzo's about as gullible as a 3-year-old. I don't know if you know this. I think you do because we talked about it a little bit on the group podcast. I'm former law enforcement. So you know how many people like the people that blew my mind are like so one day we pulled this dude over, and I'm allowed to talk about it now because it's all open to the public since he's convicted.
Mm-hmm.
We were going through his pockets to search him because he was under arrest. We're searching for arrest, making sure he doesn't have any weapons or anything on him. My partner pulls out a little baggie like this big, and it's just white. It's white substance, and we're like, "Hey, what is this?" And he was like, "Salt." And we're like, "Okay, what is it really?" He goes, "It's table salt." We're like, "Okay, who carries table salt around in a baggie like that, man?" He goes, me." We're like, "Okay, for what?" He goes, for places that don't have salt on their tables." I'm like, "Okay." So of course we tested, and of course it's cocaine. We're like, "So do you put this salt on your pancakes?" He's like, no. I was like, "Are you sure?" Because it's nose candy. And he was like, no, it's not. And that was his whole argument. No. Yeah, people are crazy.
Yeah.
We did have one guy though, and it was true. It was like, "Hey man, what are you doing in this area?" Because we got a call for a suspicious person in a parking lot. So we go to the parking lot, and we're like, "Hey, what's going on?" He was like, "I have no idea how to get out of this parking lot." And I was like, "What? What do you mean you don't know how to get out of a parking lot?"
I've been there.
And when I was drinking, I've been there. And we're like, how'd you get in? He was like, "Well, when I parked over here, So I was using this parking lot for airport parking, and the gate was open. So it is an enclosed gated parking lot that you need to get, like, you need a certain way to get in and a certain way to get out. And he was like, and I was like, okay, so how'd you get in after the airport when you came home? And he was like, well, I came in through the gate, but I felt I took a nap before I decided to start driving because I'm super tired. I was like, okay. So what were you doing before we got the call to come out here? It's like, I was just driving in circles trying to find a way out. I was like, cool. Let me put in perspective how like this parking lot was at least 30, 40 rows deep, and there's only 2 other cars in this whole parking lot. So instead of driving around the fence line to find the exit, he just drove in a circle around the lanes he was parked in. That's why we got the call, because it was just some dude driving in circles. And we're like, okay. And they're like, yeah, we don't know what he's doing. It's 1 a.m. Like, it was people from an office space that were working. They're like, we don't know what's going on. It doesn't look like someone's learning how to drive because it's not stop and go. It's literally just circles. So he's like, yeah, I don't know how to get out. I was like, well, how'd you get in? He was like, through the gate that was open over there. I was like, cool. He's like, how'd you get in? I was like, through that gate that's open over there, the one you just pointed to. He was like, has that been open the whole time? I'm like, yeah, it has. He was like, oh, okay, I'm leaving. I was like, no, wait. I was like, no. I was like, now I got it. I was like, I have questions. I was like, what? Why were you asleep? Were you drinking on the airplane? Were you dry? Like, what's going on? He's like, nope, just sleepy. I'm like, okay. So I was like, so I was trying. So I had to investigate a little more. I did not. He wasn't drinking. He was completely sober. We didn't even do field sobriety tests on him because I had no probable cause to do it. Dude was just so stupid that he was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna drive in circles until someone helps me. Like, didn't all he had to do was follow the fence line or go towards the fence that he pointed to, but nope, just I'm gonna drive in circles. Yeah, but
I mean, I've seen some odd things in my life as well.
Yeah, but from a sober person,
yeah,
not fair. Like, yeah, I wish I had cool hair. Well, Grumpy can't pull. He has very. He's balding. Let's call it what it is. I don't know if he is or not. I'm jealous of just Joshin's hair, says Gasly. Oh, why? I don't know. Is it because it's darker? It has a darker tint to it? Because I know a lot of people with light brown hair like the black hair. So what? Before Ian comes back here and asks about a train, do you have any more train stories besides that one?
Not necessarily train stories. I do have, from my years as a drug addict and then being a therapist specializing with working with addicts. Oh yeah, I have a lot of stories like that. So let's see.
So we have Castle Knight TCG. What is this? A couple of silly geese? Yes. First off, yes, absolutely. We are angry Canadian geese. And then Laura writes, I wish Kenny had that hair. Oh, never mind. I will keep this PG-13 as much as I can. Moving on. I don't want to go into too much details about you being an addict because I'm like we've talked about, I'm a recovering alcoholic. Yes, it's something I'm willing to talk about, but it depends on the story and what the situation is.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff that people don't understand. Like it's just like having a military member saying, hey, I have PTSD. Please don't do that. Do I want to go into details? Absolutely not. It's none of your business. And don't get me wrong, I love everyone in the chat and I love you, but there's still like you still have to build a little more rapport than just this. If that I don't want to offend anybody, but I hope they understand.
Yeah.
But is there any warning signs, I should say, because I know you're very big on mental health and so am I. Is there any warning signs that you should put that you feel like you want to put out to people or just discuss just in case they feel like their friends or family might need the help to the road of recovery?
Oh, yeah. I mean, one of the more frequent things we see is just a slow decline of connectedness with, relationships, both social, familial, romantic, kind of just that gradual start to separate a little bit at a time until the person gets to a point of near isolation where it's more like it starts out as, let's say, I'll give an example from my own life, right? So there would be like, family dinners and stuff, and at first I was always getting invited, and then I started pulling away to do my own, drug stuff and like getting into that life. And so, by the way, Gonzo, you can ask me anything you want. I'll say anything. That doesn't. I do appreciate that you put the boundaries up, but I'm letting you know openly. Y'all can ask me anything because
you heard him chat. Ask about his wiener size.
Yeah.
There you
go. Like a big thing was like, like I said, like I would get invited to stuff, and then I would sometimes get invited to stuff, and then like near the end, before I went to prison, it was like I never got invited to anything. And I asked my mom about it later on, like when I was when I first started in recovery, I would ask my mom, I'd tell her like that kind of hurt my feelings that you guys weren't inviting me anymore, and she was like, well, our thought process was every time we invited you, you just said no. So we just kind of figured you were doing something else. We didn't want to bother you. And I was like, oh.
See, we had the opposite in my family. We had a cousin who was all about going to the family events and being part of the group. We stopped inviting him because he was stealing from us. Yeah. So like there's always, it's always going to be one of the spectrums that there's somebody who doesn't want to be left out, and they do. But again, it's because the drugs is you just wanted the invite mostly to feel the love, even though you're going to say no anyways because of drugs. But but that's not the point. Like you're like, I still want the invite, damn it. But my cousin was the opposite. He wants the invite because he wants to know whose house he can go to next that he could potentially steal stuff for more drugs.
Yeah.
SDC says, never skip leg day.
I never do.
Grumpy, I hate family events. Well, start doing drugs and they won't invite you. Don't do that.
There you go.
Don't do that, people. It's all jokes. Smokey Desired, you stole my heart.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. When is the next leg day for you?
Friday.
Is every leg day squats so you can do the Pokemon? Oh, I want to see you challenge Grumpy, because Grumpy goes to the gym every morning. It's always in his stories. He thinks he's the next strongman. Long story, but I know drugs won't take away my invite.
Dang.
Yeah. Well, they're probably going to be more. They'll probably invite you more often if you start doing drugs, because knowing your family, they're going to be like, hey, is Grumpy coming? Yeah. All right. We don't need to buy the drugs. He's got us. And he's got the good stuff. It's nothing laced with baking soda.
They're not cutting it with baby laxative.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna get Grumpy to get with you later. Even though he doesn't do one-on-one stuff on his YouTube anymore, he can still post to his Instagram. I want to see who can out-squat. If whatever Pokemon you pull, I want to see him do the same weight, and I want to see who can do it till failure the most. Just for my own personal enjoyment. Plus, I like watching guys squat.
I mean, did you not see that last one with me in the kill? That was
brutal.
That was a special time for me.
Good Lord, y'all. Artemis says, yeah, I almost never see my family, very rarely. I see and talk to more of my Pokemon friends than anything else, but I'm naturally very reserved and introverted. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people who don't like spending time with their family just because they have two totally different personalities than their family altogether. Yeah. I just come from a very large family where I'm used to multiple personalities, even from one person.
Yeah.
So it's I get it. It is how the environment you're raised in. Geez, I haven't squatted over 300 like that in a good while. Can I do a hack squat? Will you allow him to cheat? No.
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 Barbell.
Barbell, you punk.
Yeah.
Why are you such a girl, Grumpy? I'm sorry to girls. That's sexist.
I liked the last comment, and I want to make, I guess, a clinical statement. Always remember that family is not necessarily a term that requires blood relationship, because we do have two sets of family in our life. When we're looking at the therapeutic perspective, we have our family of origin, which is where we come from, like our blood relatives. But we also have our family of creation, which would be our own children that we have, our spouses, our friends. So I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with people not connecting with their family of origin if it's just something that is not a good fit. Now, I'm not saying like, just completely cut off your family, like,
right,
never talk to you again. But you have to understand that, like, even in my family, I love my family, but a lot of the things that they do, I don't do, and we can't connect on a certain level because of one thing or another. Like, one of the big things is I'm in recovery, and my family likes to drink a lot. Not, like, none of them actually have substance use disorder like me. Like, they can actually handle themselves and, like, don't drink to excess or just to get completely wrecked.
Yeah.
But I can't do that. So there are certain instances where I can't connect with them on that level, and they can't really connect with me on the level of my mental health problems or my substance use disorder, because they don't have that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with it.
No, absolutely not. Oh, did I freeze or did he freeze? Who froze? Chat, who froze? Me or him? He did. Okay. He froze. That's rare. It's usually never my guest who freezes. It's usually me. But to piggyback off what he was saying, it's 100%. Like, yes, the family bond is always going to be strong for most people. And hopefully he comes back in. I wonder if that's him is not him texting me. But it is very important to have a family-like relationship with people. And I have to agree with them. To the family that I've made through Pokemon, my friends that I've made, sometimes are a little more important to me than depending on which family member it is or which family event it is. 100%. I can agree with that statement. They're not always going to understand what you're going through like some others. I'm going to go to the chat. Let's see. Grumpy says, geez, I haven't squatted it. Okay. We already asked that. Smokey says, my family is 2 cats. What other pets do we have here, people? Because I have a dog. I'm surprised I haven't heard her bark yet because she's afraid of everything. What if he pulls a whale lord? Like, what are we going to do then? You're going to bench it like a man or squat it like a man. I don't know. You're going to do something. I know that he's dropped before on other stuff. He should be coming back soon. If not, we will continue this live stream at a later date. I will get with him later and discuss it. But we will, maybe I'll do some. There he is. Well, there you go. Yeah, you lost us. It's okay. Usually it's me, so that's why I was like, chat, who is it this time? Me? Let it be him this time. Yes, welcome back, my friend. So Grumpy wants to know, if we were just talking about it, if Whale Lord pulls, if you pull a Whale Lord, how are you going to squat that? How would you guys do that?
What's a Whale Lord's HP?
Oh, that's right. You do HP, not weight. Yeah, you'll be good. Yeah, because at first, Grumpy probably had this thought process of the question, like you squat the Pokemon's weight, not their HP, and maybe that's how I read it too. Yes, it's HP, Grumpy. Yeah. You'll be good. Whale Lord doesn't have a lot of HP.
I take the last 2 Pokemon and combine their HP.
Mm. So, well, depending on the Wailord card, I think Wailord has up to 200 HP sometimes. Can you balance on one foot, then squat down and back up? What is that called? Oh, it's the pistol squat. That's yeah.
I don't know if I've ever tried.
You're not. Don't do it with weights.
Well, no, I'm not gonna do it
Yeah.
with weights.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't do it with weights.
I'm not insane.
Well, debatable. I'm not a medical professional, but Smokey Desart says that's true. Grumpy and I have been friends since like the 4th grade. So he's talking about how some of the bonds are stronger with the people you choose over the people you're born with. Yeah, Grumpy says, yeah, Smokey and I are basically brothers.
Dude, you know it's so funny? It's like I didn't know that I lost you for a second, like for a hot second, because the way that it froze, you just looked like you were like really intently listening, and I was like, man, he's really into this.
And I probably was, and then that happened. I'm like, oh no, what happened? Artemis says, God. I have a SEC putting in the heart emoji. Thank you. Artemis says, I have a cat, and he is the definition of the term Frighty cat. I was talking about how my dog's a giant wuss. Even if don't fully understand, as long as they're still for the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. We're good. Oh shit. What if we got like a VMAX / V Star or something solid? Josh, by the way, that's a sick Goku shirt.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Here's my Dragon Ball.
Is that the only one you have?
No, I have all 7.
That's a sick. Oh, I thought he said hat. He's talking about the Joker artwork above your head.
Oh, thanks. I did that.
Yeah. You painted that? Do you do commissions?
No, I mainly just do stuff for funsies.
For funsies? Okay. Because I need one. Not of the Joker, but of any of the Flashes. And I need to send it to Grumpy. Do you do Pokemon or just any comic book character, or just anything you want at that moment?
I usually do comic book characters, but you know who would be even better for that? Is my father-in-law. He used to draw for DC.
Why is everyone marrying all the cool families except me? I just got the Filipino mafia.
Hang on, let me
my wife's gonna be so mad at that joke.
Let me show you what he made for me for my wedding.
For sure. Hey, appreciate it, Dark UPB. How you doing, my man? You had that commission for your wedding from your father-in-law?
Yeah, see, look, there's this little...
That's sick. Yeah, that's funny, though. You had to pay your father-in-law to do that for you.
Oh, I didn't pay him. He just did it.
Oh, I thought you said you commissioned him.
Well, I asked him to do it, but he made it my wedding present.
Oh, that's not a commission then. That's just like, hey, I need stuff. Holy hell, that's cool as hell. I love that artwork. My aunt used to have that as a statue when I was younger.
Yeah, the Alex Ross paintings are just
yes.
Like the entire Kingdom Come book is just fantastic. Like the whole thing.
I love it.
Cool. Oh,
so good. Who is your favorite comic book? Well, who's your favorite DC person altogether?
Like character?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard one. There's so many.
I would say it's a 1 and 1A situation between Batman and Wonder Woman.
On like which universe you're talking about, or which storyline you're talking about for a 1-for-1, or just like it's just hard to pick overall.
It's hard for me because I think both of them have the deepest lore as far as like what I like. Because I love Batman has such a psychological aspect to it. Like there are so many theories that Batman has like dissociative identity disorder, where he truly believes that Batman and Bruce Wayne are separate people. Because if you watch a lot of things even when Batman is talking to people that know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, he'll be like, Bruce Wayne needs to do this, and he's and just like, you know, all of the mental illnesses of the villainry is just incredible. And then Wonder Woman going into, you know, the Greek lore and the mythos of like you just, both of those two are so good. Like I can't, it's hard for me to say which I like better.
I can't remember the series it's from, but I want to say it's from Golden Age, or it was when it was Justice Society. But it was when Starro tried to invade the Earth, and Wonder Woman was in, I think it was in Vietnam, and she rescued all the women and children from cages, and Superman was like, "You're not allowed to do that." And she got up from the table and stood up to him. She's like, "Who's going to stop me?" And he's like, "Well, okay, I understand. It's wrong." Like she made him cower down. Yeah. But the thing that like always stood out to me was someone finally made people don't understand how big she actually is because she's an Amazon, where she was taller than Superman. I was like, yeah, no wonder he backed down, because I got really mad at like one of the local news radios because they were talking about what is Superman's one weakness. So I was like, well, they better not say kryptonite, because it's not one. He has two. He's also weak to magic, where Wonder Woman gets her powers from, where Captain Marvel gets his powers from. They could both wreck him. Well, yeah, obviously they're going to lose at the end of the day because he's Superman and he can be as powerful as he needs to be for that situation. But they're going to give him a really good fight, which they have multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That we have in the chat, we have people saying Batman Joker, Batman. Artemis is saying the Flash for superpowered heroes and Nightwing for non-superpowered heroes. That's a solid pick for non-superpowered.
Yeah, I can't really argue that.
Yeah.
By the way, what you were thinking of is called Justice League New Frontier.
Yes. I also have that movie. It was a good movie. Mm-hmm. I prefer the book as normal. Hawaii 50 says, "Oh, Gonzo, aloha everybody. I just dropped in to Hawaii and smash that like button and show some support. Aloha." Hey, Hawaii 50, thank you so much for dropping in and having a good time. Hopefully you and your granddaughter have been having fun, and hope you like the packs I was able to send you guys. Rob Liefeld may have deserved some of the hate, but he just a young kid who blew up too fast. He changed a lot about comic storytelling in a positive way. Yeah, I don't know why I was having trouble reading that. There's a lot in that in the animations. Everyone's saying hello to 50 and Dark UPB. I like your pick. Grass Energies. It's my channel logo. A friend did it for me years back. Poke Vibes in Animal Crossing style. That is a really cool one. Nightwing does not get enough shine. Dark UPP, that's why I love the Young Justice series. So much more showtime. Yeah. Young Justice was amazing. I'm so glad HBO Max brought it back. Then I can't wait for the next season, because this one was so good how they were able to get Kelder and everyone else involved. I'm really glad they haven't brought Wally back yet, because I'm a big fan of like not all heroes need to stay dead, but I want them to stay dead for a while.
Yeah,
like that's I think that's why when Barry Allen finally came back,
I was gonna say, how long
it meant
Barry
something.
Dead?
He's actually the as far as like mainstream superheroes, or out of the Flash, the Wolverine, like even for Marvel, I think he has the record for being dead the longest.
Yeah. He was dead for like a couple decades, wasn't he?
Yeah, he died in the 70s, I think. And then he didn't come back until like late or mid 2000s. So it was a Flashpoint is when he came back. But yeah, I love Barry Allen. Wally West is my favorite Flash, just because he was the one I grew up with in the comics, and I also grew up with him in Justice League.
Yeah.
Michael Rosenbaum is my Flash, but he's also Lex Luthor.
So, he is also Lex Luthor. Yes. A fantastic Lex Luthor.
Absolutely. I love Smallville.
Smallville doesn't get enough shine.
No, and have you listened to their?
Is...
Yeah. Have you listened to their podcast?
Yes.
Yes, so good, so good.
I don't even like podcasts, and I have listened to that one.
Yeah. Is there what comic books are? Well, I think we already asked. What are you just strictly DC, or do you love Marvel as well? Because I know there's a lot. You hate Marvel?
Yeah. Except for two exceptions. There are two exceptions to the Marvel hate rule. There's X-Men and Spider-Man.
Why those two specifically?
Because for me, those are two actual original ideas as opposed to everything that Marvel just completely rips off from DC. I said what I said.
Yeah, but there's evidence that DC has done it too.
Yeah, but who's older?
DC. Fair. I do love Deadpool's origin story, or kind of origin story of how he became the character that we know and love today. I don't know if you know it, but when they came out with like, hey, here's here's our guy, like he's a mercenary, he doesn't have any superpowers, this is what's going on, he's just fucking amazing, this is his color scheme, red and black. And they're like, what's his name? We're like, oh, we don't have a name yet. And they're like, okay, where'd you get this idea? And he's like, I don't know. They're like, it's not like, yeah, they're like, did you get it from Deathstroke from DC? And they're like, fuck. And like, even the personality was supposed to be he was supposed to be a very serious anti-hero. Like he's a mercenary, he's just there for the money. So the guy was like, what's his character's name in real life, like in his alter ego? They're like, their name is Slade Wilson. He's like, this is Wade Wilson, and he's a fucking comedian. And we're like, all right, screw it, like good enough. So like Deadpool turned into a very serious person to a fuck it, let's just make fun of ourselves in DC at the same time. So but now he's one of their biggest, and arguably I would say one of their top 5 characters, most popular characters.
See, he gets a pass for me because what's he in?
He's in X-Men. He's in the X-Force, technically.
Well, they get a pass too.
Yeah,
the New Mutants, X-Men, yeah, they all get a pass for me.
He's also killed the Marvel Universe multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have multiple people in the chat. Everyone's talking about Young Justice, was a great show. What is your favorite DBZ saga? Mine is Frieza Saga, says Retro Polka Gamer. Oh, it's Spooky Gus Man. What's Joey can't do it, which is weird for Hispanic that he can't roll his R's like that.
I'm embarrassed for him.
I don't mean speak Spanish. I can't speak Spanish to save my life. Except Donde está Pantalones is the only thing I know how to say in Spanish. That's because when I was drinking, I lost my pants in Mexico. For those who don't speak Spanish, I just asked him if he knew where my pants were. Pretty much.
No sé.
Not my bedroom. I don't give a damn. I cannot tell you what my favorite DBZ saga is because I like Dragon Ball, but not enough to be like, oh, that saga perfect. Like, I didn't watch it until I deployed in 2012, 2013, something like that.
So can I see if I have this right? You think Avatar is overhyped? You don't care to weigh in on Dragon Ball Z? It's like,
no, I didn't say that. I just said, well, I want to know what your opinion is. I don't have enough opinion. I don't have enough opinion to say anything about Dragon Ball Z. But I also prefer Dragon Ball over Dragon Ball Z.
That's fair. I like Dragon Ball a lot.
Yes. It was a lot more comical than it was now, and like Goku wasn't a complete moron like he is right now. I don't understand that either, though.
I didn't like that transition.
Just because he had sex one time, now he's an idiot. I had a kid, so now I have to go full blown, like, gone. Like, all my education's out the window.
I would say if I had to weigh, to me, I think the best
He's just hiding it.
Dragon Ball Z series, or I guess saga, is the Saiyan saga, and I'll tell you why.
Which one is that though? If that is not the reason why, can you explain to the people who don't know the Saiyan saga, which saga that is or what it's about.
So the Saiyan saga is, I mean, I guess theoretically you could put Raditz in there, but the Saiyan saga is mainly when Nappa and Vegeta come to Earth to either like recruit or kill Goku. For me, it's my favorite because it was pretty much the last time that power levels kind of made sense. And it was also the last time that it wasn't just about like, ooh, what's the new transformation?
Right, because
like, what's the new level of Super Saiyan? Like, I don't get me wrong, I love Super Saiyan, but it's like since that it's been Super Saiyan 2, then it's 3, and then in GT it was 4, but now it's Super Saiyan God. Like, how can we just continue to power up with new transformations?
Like, I feel like that started the hype too with a lot of anime, like because now it's happening in One Piece. Like every time he fights another pirate or captain or anybody who's on a stronger power level, Adam, because even though One Piece doesn't have power levels, he still has to have a new transformation. It's like can we, like, don't get me wrong, I love One Piece though, but I feel like that was a trend that started with Dragon Ball, because there's even like Bleach did the same thing every time, like he had, or at least with Bleach, it wasn't a new like form change, it was a new move or something like that. But there's always something different to have to go on. At least with Bleach, they, with their transformations, it made sense within the storyline and the lore of it. So like his form changed because of a Bankai, which within the lore is like only certain people got it, not everyone got it.
Right.
And then with the Visored's mask is because he's actually part hollow. And then I don't want to give out any more details because I don't know how far people are off in the current saga. But I read the manga. Bleach is my favorite anime of all time, and I will fight people. But that is a trend, I think, which started with Dragon Ball, was form change, or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the form changes, but it's like
it's getting a little out of hand.
The whole story is driven by the form changes. It's like,
well, that's because that's what the fan base wants. I'm gonna blame Grumpy, because Grumpy is probably one of those people. Like, he could beat him if he had a new power up. I'm like, why? But why does the hair have to change?
Yeah, it's like I like. That's why I agree with you that I like Dragon Ball, because Goku never changed forms. He just was training, got stronger, learned new techniques, but it wasn't like, all right, I'm about to go Super Saiyan now, and
let me go to the salon and bleach my hair first.
All right.
But we have people in the chat saying, "Smoke, it's Spooky Ghost Man." Oh, okay, I'll learn to read. He's also had a bad outfit choice. The one that Ryan Reynolds. His outfit choice is okay. What would be preferred, watching anime or reading the light novels or manga? It depends on the story.
Yeah,
because some, like, Soul Eater is the perfect one that I go to when people ask me like manga or anime. Manga all the way for Soul Eater. It's so much better than the anime. Like, it's good. It's the same up until about like episode 10, and then it completely splits.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing for every source. Perfect example is the Avatar. It was like, hey, here and now gone. Saiyan Saga is great saga as well. I read the whole manga for Bleach, so I already know how it goes in Ichigo's family history. Yep, me too. I am working on buying the new box sets instead of buying them one by one. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is my favorite Goku, says Grumpy Charizard. Wait, which one is that?
That's the one where he has the really long blonde hair and he has no eyebrows.
So which one is the official Super Saiyan 1? Is it the blonde one, or is it just that's when the aura kicks in? Because I thought that was key, but one of my Dragon Ball friends said that's Super Saiyan 1. Super Saiyan 2 is blonde hair Super Saiyan. What is it actually?
I think because there are parts of Dragon Ball Z where if you look back, you see Goku maybe tapping into some of the power, but I have
Yeah.
to. For me, it has to be the pinnacle, or I guess the definition of Super Saiyan would be the blonde hair, the turquoise eyes, and he only really achieves. It's almost like, I mean, you've seen Super, right?
Yeah.
So you know how Goku had like that imperfected mass Ultra Instinct, where he still had black hair, but it was like you could kind of see the aura a little bit.
Yeah.
But then, boom, mastered Ultra Instinct. It's kind of like that. Like, there are moments in Dragon Ball Z where you can see he's got the blonde aura a little bit, or like the golden aura, but he hasn't mastered it yet. And so, like, I think the best way to tell between Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 is lightning.
Okay. I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, like when Super Saiyan 1, you don't produce like that blue lightning that's coming off of you, whereas when Gohan first hits Super Saiyan 2, that's the first time you see somebody like producing that staticky lightning all around them, like the whole time they're in the form.
Yes. Retro says, I like Frieza Saga because of the build up to the first Super Saiyan transformation and then utter defeat of seemingly unbeatable Frieza. Now everyone is God Super Saiyan and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they made it a joke. Like, freaking Goten and Trunks are Super Saiyans when they're like 5 years old.
Yeah. And then now they can fuse. I like the red for Super Saiyan 4 fusion Ha and Goku and Vegeta.
Oh, yeah. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta when he's taken on Omega Shenron. It's pretty solid.
Yeah. TNT Golem, how you doing, my friend? Welcome in. I think that's Gogeta. Is it Gogeta or Vegito?
Vegeta
I know.
When
The earrings,
when
right?
he's got the Patara earrings. Gogeta is when they do the fusion technique.
And that one is the earrings are not, they're not as strong as the actual technique, from my understanding.
I don't know. I don't know if they've ever really measured it, but like supposedly I always thought that the earrings were stronger because
they're supposed to be permanent.
Those are god relics, though.
Yeah.
As opposed to, this is just a technique that mortals came up with.
Stupid mortals. You're dancing fools.
Stupid mortals.
Stupid mortals. Well, that's why they have the failed fusions too, says Grumpy.
Oh, dude. I love when they do the failed fusions. That always cracks me. When they're like fat or like super old and skinny. That gets me.
Those... when people are like, oh, Fusion, Dragon Ball, like I always go to the failed ones first. I'm like, oh yeah, they are successful ones, aren't there? Like, nope, he's so fat.
Do you remember Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2?
No.
Okay, it was a game for like GameCube.
Well,
PS2.
I know the game, but I never wait. Budokai is the ones like in the early 2000s that everyone was playing. Yes, I do remember those ones.
So I'm pretty sure it was in Budokai 2, but there was like a bunch of like super random fusions you could do. There was like a Tien and Yamcha fusing together. There was
why is that a thing? Why is that needed?
I thought it was awesome. There was a Goku. So it's Goku and Hercule fusing together.
Oh God,
bro, it was pretty funny actually.
I don't remember that at all. Like I remember the game, but I don't remember those fusions at all. Yeah,
Kid Buu in that game was ridiculous. He had like 50 bars of health. It was super annoying.
Yeah, I remember like that was one of those games where like, let's play storyline, and if you lose, you pass the controller. Everyone there's a couple where like, all right. So like, all right, man, you played it for 2 hours. Time to move on. But then when you got to Boo, it's like, I don't want to play this game anymore. This is my 5th time.
I hate this game.
Yeah, I hate this game. Yeah. Smokey says, not into DC or Marvel. I'm into DC and Marvel, but not anime. And that's fine. Everyone's not allowed to have their opinions. I also love Vegeta's face and the first time he saw the fusion dance and Piccolo's face. Like, I don't know. Not for me. But that is Piccolo's also technically a fusion though already.
He's a multiple time fusion.
Yeah. So how many people are in Piccolo's body at the moment? Yeah, so it's just him and King. Is it no, it's not King, is it? King
Well, no,
something?
I guess technically there are 3 people because he fused with Nail on Namek and then he fused
Yeah.
with Tommy.
Right. So, but he got to keep his personality. Did we lose him
Right.
again? No, we didn't lose him. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, it's like my friend Chris would be all about this conversation right now and yelling at me in the comments because when we were in Georgia training together, he legit tried to make me watch Dragon Ball. What was it called? The YouTube series Dragon Ball, like the one where where they like I need an adult. I am an adult.
Oh,
The abridged version.
yeah, Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Z Abridged, dude.
yeah.
That is
I used to hate it, but now, like he made me watch it, and it's like there's so many things that like I just quote now all the time, and that's one of my favorites. I need an adult. I am an adult. Like
I am the hype.
what? Who the fuck are you? Yeah, I kind of want a Jurassic Park anime. Well, depending on how they do it, that might be a solid one. But I don't like they. I don't think any. Well, I'm not gonna say never because I don't know people's heads. It might happen someday. Kami, yeah. I know I want a Japanese style 2D animated series. I have seen all Jurassic Park movies and shows. Says TNT Golem. Sorry, I lashed my eye because I'm crying. Uh, how would they write that though? How would you write a Jurassic Park anime? Like, what would the storyline even be? What would the T-Rex turn into once the bad guy comes to Earth? There always has to be a transformation. Says Dragon Ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. Retro says yes. Piccolo fused with Nail and Kami. Yeah.
Now you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yes.
So, what do you guys want to know? I'm interested to hear the questions.
Yeah, you guys ask Josh some sexy Jesus here, some questions about mental health, anything you guys want to know. He is a licensed sexy man who also helps people in these situations. Yeah, I'd say it not all the time. I should say it more often. If you guys ever need to talk, you can always hit me up in the DMs, emails. We'll talk it out. It's never gonna hurt my feelings. I myself seek help very, very often. Well, while we wait for people to ask questions in the chat, what are some stuff you are working on currently for your channel? I gotta keep the conversation moving sometimes.
No, that's good. That's funny. So, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing because there's just like such stupid stuff that I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
I've reached the point where I started to become slightly stagnated and bored.
Mm.
So I just started thinking of like really stupid things to do that I thought would be funny, and they are funny to me.
That's all that matters.
So, like, did you see a couple weeks ago I did that because Opossum Bud did that video about how that one, was it maybe like a TikTok or something, got like 26 million views, and the guy was like, yeah, so actually I've heard that Charmander.
Oh, the Cubone and Charmander nonsense?
Yeah.
My wife asked me about it. She was like, is that true? I was like, absolutely not. Get that shit out of my house.
So I made a video. It was like, oh, have you heard the theory about Gengar? That Gengar and that whole line is just like a metaphor for our food. Like when you eat it, the next time you see it, it's a ghastly fart, and then it's like, and then if it's really bad food, it stays with you and it haunts you, and then it's nice and solid when it's coming out. It's like a big, fat, meaty Gengar.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one. Like that one had me dying.
So I don't know. So I'm actually working on one right now, and I'll give you the premise of it. Okay. I can't remember. So like one of my least favorite Pokemon of all time is Castform in all of its various forms. I just don't like it. Like I don't know why. I just don't like it.
The balls.
So there's one of them that basically just has like chin balls.
Yeah, it's the original Castform.
Yeah. So I'm basically gonna do like a theory video that Pokemon creators were watching that episode of South Park where Butters glued the prosthetic balls to his chin.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. Every time I see, like, when someone says like chin balls or anything like that, it reminds me of was it Men in Black 2, where he's like, he's a Balchinian.
Yeah, he's a Balchinian.
Just his balls. Because I'm a child, and balls and farts are always going to be funny.
So, like, I'm working on that right now, and then I'm actually I took some volunteer work on Saturdays that is gonna like change my streaming schedule a little bit for a while, and so I'm like, do you remember those like really stupid local furniture store commercials from the 90s?
Absolutely.
So I'm basically working on one of those where it's going to also then segue because I'm moving my day to Sunday. So
Yes.
it's gonna start out as like a really stupid 90s furniture, like we've got packs. Oh, so many packs. Or just like, and then I'm gonna like transition it slowly, and it's gonna get more and more aggressive, and it's gonna become like a 90s monster truck commercial. Come see it on Sunday.
We're gonna give you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm working on that right now.
Real quick, guys, can I get one of my beautiful mods to share Just Joshin's link in the chat so people can go follow and sub to him? Remember, guys, sub everybody, sub everyone in their face and their mom. I don't know. You're saying it's like your slogan is it's you. Like, for the people who don't know you, your slogan that's every time I think of like, oh, I'm gonna go to hang out on Josh's thing, I'm like, it's amazing because it's the positivity that you put in your slogan and your catchphrase. It's amazing. Everybody love everybody, everybody sub everybody. And that's you to a T. That what I feel. Like you are, yeah, you really do want everyone in the community to feel the love, to feel like they belong, and you never want anyone to not feel the love or even like not feel like they're not wanted or not, like they made someone mad, so now they have to go somewhere else. And yesterday I had the opportunity to talk to one of our members of the community, and I don't want to give out any details on who they are, what's going on, but I need to like remind everybody in the chat, if you're a PokeTuber, you're not a PokeTuber, you just want to be part of the community, don't feel bad if you have to step on someone. Don't feel like you're stepping on someone's toes is what I should rephrase it. If you need a stream. If you need a post. Don't be afraid of being live at the same time as somebody else. Like, I'm live. I don't know who else is live right now, but in the beginning of my lives, I'm competing with Deep Pocket Monster. Yeah. He's not going to be mad at that. Neither am I. And then there's some days where I'm competing against one of my best friends in the space, Joey. But he understands, like, if you need a stream, you need a stream. If you need a post, you need a post. If someone is offended that you're streaming on their time, they're not members of the community. They're members of their own pocket, their own wallet. It's not their time. There's not a scheduled whiteboard that says, I'm posting at this time, calling dibs.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that. I want everyone to feel the love just like you do. Mm-hmm. And I want people to understand, like, if we're streaming at the same time, sorry that I might have some of the viewers that you normally have, but you might have some of the viewers I normally have. It's just going to happen. And in my opinion, competition is good because it just makes everybody stronger. Yeah. Do I feel like we're in competition with everyone? Some, not all. Because there's some people who are just like, you're like, I don't give a damn. Like, I'll move my stuff around if I need to work with somebody. But at the same time, you do you. Don't worry about anyone else. Mm-hmm. So go back onto your question for the chat to ask you some stuff about mental health. Retro Poke Gamer wants to know, Josh, what brings you happiness and peach each and every peace, not peach, but if you want peaches, that's fine. Each and every day.
So I make it a conscious effort every day to pray. I make it a conscious effort every day to take my breaks. I know a lot of times in life, like, we are consistently busy, you know, especially with the kind of job that I do, it's very mentally stressful. So I make sure to take my time to do the breaks. I, more than anything, I mean, I work out 4 times a week, but I wouldn't say that's an everyday thing. Every day for me, I try my very best to pick something that I would like to be slightly better at than I was yesterday. And it creates a realistic goal for me where I'm not so far above where I'm like, oh man, if I don't, you know, that, like, so many people, I think, create these unrealistic goals day to day. They're like, I want to finish 50,000 things in one day. Or, you know, like, I want to get the progress right now. So I'll tell myself something really small, and I actually write things down a lot. It's a technique that I like to teach people to do. There's something weirdly satisfying about, like, writing a tiny goal and then at the end of the day, like, or like highlighting it or whatever, however you want to do it. For me, it's all about creating those realistic goals day to day and making sure that I'm checking in with myself at least a couple times a day, where I'll be like, and I know people think it's weird, but I'm encouraging everybody, because you do it whether you want to admit it or not. I encourage everybody to talk to themselves every day. Like, whether it's out loud or in your own head, something like, you know, how am I doing right now? Is everything cool? Like, am I good?
Absolutely.
Because so much of our lives I think so much of our lives are spent trying to pretend we're good when we're not. That it's important to stop and really be honest with yourself for a couple minutes a day and be like, you know, am I really good? Well, no, this is bothering me. And then I can kind of think about, well, you know, what can I do about this thing that's bothering me right now? If it's something that I can't control, maybe I can, like, take the steps to let go of that worry and just let it be what it is. Or if it's something I can do to, like, take an active step towards maybe making that situation better, I know that I can make that small step today.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought up the thing about the list, because that is something I've been practicing with. And what I've started to realize, you don't want to make the list too long, because if you're like me, you want everything done on that list for that day that you made it. So it goes back to make realistic goals for yourself. Start off with 1 or 2 goals. Then, if depending on the goals, if you knock one out, look at your time and be like, let's see if I can get something else done. Does it help me? Yes. And in knowing that something is complete and done, excuse me, it does make you feel good at the end of the day, makes you feel accomplished. But then there's always the people around you that, because I love talking to my wife sometimes, but that's my wife. Like kids, wives, there's always somebody else around you that you can always talk to. And I at least once a week, I always call or text one of my veteran buddies, either one of the groups I'm in, or either one-on-one. Because even I know, like, and one of my friends says the same thing. Like, I'll get a text from him like once a month, and he's like, "Hey, you good?" Nah, no, let's talk. And sometimes that's all you need, is someone else to reach out to you. So at least once a week, I'll reach out to one of my veteran buddies, because our veterans are, especially the ones I've deployed and have combat experience, they're not the same person when they come back, and and sometimes they need that love a lot. But I'm not just saying veterans are the only people who do it. I mean, anybody who has a prior addiction, they also fought battles. It's not the same battles, but they fought them. And just anybody reaching out, like, will change anyone's day. And here in San Diego, I don't know if you guys have any bridges, but here in San Diego, we have the Coronado Bridge, and there's suicide hotlines all throughout the bridge. Like, when you get on it, when you're getting off it, if you see, like, there's ones that, like, if you see people in the water, please let us know.
Yeah.
If you ever feel like you might need to call that number, call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've called the veteran crisis line. It's a real tool and it helps. Sometimes a stranger is stronger than the person that you think you would normally talk to, just because it's like married guys and married women, like married people in general will understand this. Like my wife can tell me something all day, didn't listen. You tell me something, oh, that's amazing. Oh, that let's do it. But sometimes friends can't even do that. So sometimes that stranger will be the person you need.
Well, it goes a lot to the concept of objectivity, which is why therapists, I feel, are so essential, because the therapist has no vested interest in your life. As far as, you know, we don't have emotional connections to you. We don't have a family connection to you. So I think a lot of times that concept, because you're right, a lot of people do that, where the spouse can say something a billion times, a friend can say something, a parent can say something, but I think we hear those and kind of filter them through the prism of our understanding, which is, well, this person, they're my family, they have to say this, or they're a person who I know personally, so they're just going because they're just saying that because they know who I am, as opposed to the reason, like I said, a therapist or somebody on a crisis hotline, or even sometimes a complete stranger that you just happen to talk to.
Yeah,
they have a perspective that all these other people don't have, which is literally just hearing the facts and letting you know what's logical and illogical.
Yes. Smokey Desard says most definitely. Everyone's saying hi to Lauren for coming back in. Adriana says true. Sometimes help can come from the most unexpected places. And it's true. We see it I wish we saw on the news more often that strangers save someone's life because all they said was, hey, it looks like you need a hug. And sometimes that really is all it's needed. Retro Poke Gamer says, outwardly towards others, I'm a positive person. But inwardly, I struggle with depression and anxiety because of my relationships with my family, which is non-existent. How do I stay positive?
I would say, and I don't want to like blow anybody's mind too much, but I don't want people to be positive all the time. Here's why. The concept of staying positive, just stay positive, in turn tells us that our other emotions are not valid or important. It's like, oh, you're feeling sad? Something terrible is happening to you? Just stay positive. So what you're telling me is basically don't feel this anger, frustration, sadness, guilt, shame that I'm feeling, that I need to feel and work through and process. I'm supposed to just be like, okay.
All the time. Yeah. It's not healthy. And we even saw it in the Jim Carrey movie, did an excellent job of that whole mindset of I'm positive, positive, positive. And it's me, myself, and Irene. Yeah. There's one day you're going to snap and people are going to think you're crazy. So it is okay to feel sad. It is okay to feel mad. It is perfectly okay not to feel positive 100% of the time. It's what you do with each emotion that helps you grow as a person. When I feel like what you're describing, like to myself, like I'm not feeling myself today, something's wrong. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want anyone to talk to me. I go talk. Well, I'm fortunate enough that I can go talk to my wife because she's known me for so long. She can tell automatically that something's wrong, even without me saying anything. I was like, and what I used to do was like, I'm just going to go in the corner and play some video games, which didn't really help because now I'm just loathing in myself.
Yeah, isolating.
Yeah, I have to, and I'm still working on it. There's still days where I'm like, just leave me the hell alone. But for me, this is me personally, Retro. I can't say this is going to work for you. I have to force myself to go talk to somebody, to let them know, like, hey, I'm not feeling good today. So please let me be me, let me ride through my emotions, but please watch over me. That works for me, knowing that someone that cares about me is there to help me along the way if I need it. Because there are some days that, like, I just want to let this emotion ride. Even though I've taken my medication, sometimes it doesn't work. But to stay positive, it's you guys, it's the community, but it's not just the Pokemon community for me. I have the Pokemon community, I have my family. Luckily, I'm getting on better terms with them. I have my children. There's there's always going to be multiple outlets. With Retro, I know for sure he is also a big Dragon Ball fan. He sent cards to me to grade through PSA. I would say get in contact with some members of the Dragon Ball community, because I don't know how much they are involved or how much of a positive community they are, but it can never help to it can never help to have new friends.
Yeah, I do want to add to that. So
Uncle
I like what you're saying, Gonzo. I would say Gonzo has the right idea of talking it out. Now, I would say in a clinical perspective, I think it's important that you address with your family if they're kind of the cause of some of these feelings of depression or anxiety. I think it might be a prudent idea to either, maybe in a family group session, or if you just want to talk to them, without a therapist. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I would say the main suggestion I would make is to always remember that in these terms of family conversation, the best course of action is usually utilizing I statements. So what I mean by that is, I think, I feel, I need, I want, because, right? So a lot of people say, well, what's so special about that? Well, from the research I've read and from the clinical experience I've had, more often than not, when somebody comes up to somebody else and says, you make me feel this way, you always do this, it is more often than not taken by the other person as a threat, or as now I have to get defensive and defend myself.
Yes.
Because this person is blaming me, they're attacking me. Whereas if I come to someone and I say, I feel this way when this happens, or I notice that we're not as close anymore and that hurts me. It kind of allows the other person to really hear what you're saying, rather than getting ready to defend themselves from whatever you're saying. So
yeah,
I would say that. And then, like we talked about earlier, I'm not saying that you have to cut off your family completely, but if there are differences of opinions, or, God forbid, there's like some type of dysfunctional, toxic relationships going on within families, there's nothing wrong with having that family of creation, which is our friends, our spouses, our kids. There's nothing wrong with maybe keeping a respectful distance, right? Not, like I said, not cutting people off, not, going completely berserk and like yelling and screaming and telling people you hate them and all that. It's not what I'm recommending, but strong boundaries, maybe some distance is okay. And it's okay to lean more into that family of creation, like the Pokemon community. Realistically, there have been at least 2 times that I can think of since I joined the Pokemon community where I was completely depressed. I was super upset about something. I just was not feeling it. And I went into a stream and I laid it out. I was like, guys, I'm not feeling it. Like, I feel this way today. And within like 10 minutes, I had 4 or 5 people direct messaging me like, yo, dude, what's going on? Are you good? Like, so okay. It's okay to lean on the family that we create outside of our own blood family.
Yeah, absolutely. And and I need to point that out because a lot of people think, oh, I'll just throw money at the problem. Like there's a lot of people like, oh, I feel bad, I'm not having a good day, and then people are like, oh, $5 super chat, I hope you feel great, man, it's okay. I much rather have that DM to be like, hey, you good, man? You want to talk it out? And I'll do it live on stream too. Like, hey, I'm not feeling it. Let's talk, guys. Let me know what's going on. How are you guys feeling? Just like we did today. Like, tell us how you're feeling. Like Retro, thank you so much for putting it out there that sometimes you feel that way. Because it does take a lot of guts to say it in front. Like, yes, there's only 10 people at the time in the chat, but it still takes a lot of guts to do something like that in front of others. Yeah. But like, even if you don't want to do it in a group setting, DM me, email, Discord, whatever. Just let me know. Like, hey, I want to talk for a little bit. Yeah. Great. Let's talk it out. What's going on? And I will never turn away anybody who says I need help, because I've been there. I know how hard it is to tell somebody I need help, and it is. Don't like and I see it all the time, especially when I was in law enforcement. You always had that young rookie kid. When someone's like a homeless person is like, I don't know what to do. I can't do this. I can't do that. And the rookie is like, get a job. It's not that easy.
It's not that simple.
Because you just can't go into a job interview in a McDonald's and be like, I need a job, when you smell the way you do, when you look the way you do. Like, they need to be able to find a shelter, especially in San Diego, which it's such a massive city. Like, some shelters have months waiting time sometimes. But then don't get me wrong, there are some homeless people that don't want help, and that's fine. But the ones that do, they tell you I want help, but they won't verbally say I need help. They'll just keep saying, oh, it's a lot of woe is me kind of mentalities and actions. Like, yes, sometimes they'll do it for the attention, but you have to read in between the lines of, okay, they're saying this is what their actions are. What's the commonality? So it's really just, that's why you need to listen to the problems and not just super chat. Hope you feel good. Great. Now I can go buy a cheeseburger. Like, thank you. That's not what I wanted. I just wanted someone to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. But Gonzo, that's such a good point. I think so much of our society now
is throw money at the problem.
Not even just throw money at the problem, but let me offer you a solution. Yeah. Instead of, hey, let's understand the problem. Mm-hmm. We just want to throw anything and everything we can. Like, oh, maybe I'll try this quick solution. Maybe I'll try this quick solution. Instead of sitting and thinking, what are the contours of this problem? What are the fine details of this problem? Because think about it in the terms of math. Mm-hmm. If I just gave you a number and I was like, all right, here's the solution. Okay. Great. But what's the problem? If I don't understand the problem, one, the solution's not going to mean much to me. And number two, I probably won't even know what to do with the solution.
Yeah. Like, what? It's one of those, like, you can't bring a horse to water and force it to drink kind of situations.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's super cliche, but it's true. Retro says the Pokemon community and being part of it has helped me immensely. Family truly can be more than blood. Yes, absolutely. Exactly. And it's that chosen bond that Sexy Jesus has been speaking of all day. It's like not Josh, you're Josh. Joey was in here earlier, and I talked to Joey for a good almost 2 hours just a couple weeks ago to vent and to complain about what's going on with certain situations, and it helped. Mm-hmm. He listened. He tried to give me solutions, but he told me step by step, like, this is what's going on. And it wasn't just like quit. Well, it's not that simple. Like, there's process. He helped me with the step-by-step process of my solution. It wasn't just, you'll figure it out. You got this. You just stay positive. So Joey is someone I will always go to for a problem. Not always, but I will go to him.
Yeah. I like that you said step by step. Yeah. Because so many people crash and burn before they reach their potential or they reach their end goal because all they can think of is the end goal.
They just want to jump to it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I didn't go to college and immediately get a degree. The degree was the end goal, but each step was, okay, I got to study for this test. Then I got to study for this test. Then I got to go to this class. Then I got to do this. Each step is important. And the concept of skipping steps is just like trying to skip too many steps on a staircase. You will fall and bust your head open.
Yeah, exactly. Before we end the stream, is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote? Say anything to the chat? The floor is yours until the floor's all yours.
Okay. So, number one, Gonzo is a super neat guy. I was very honored and happy to meet him at Card Party. I'm glad that our bond is growing, our broship. You know, next time I see him, I'm gonna give him a lovely brug.
Bro, I'll take it. Do you know what the creepy man hug is?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna give you the creepy. No, you have a beard too, so it might not work. A creepy man hug works best when you have a 5 o'clock shadow, like 2 or 3. Well, for someone like you and I, it's probably like a solid 2 to 3 days when you have a good shade going.
Yeah.
When you give them a hug, you hold on tight, you rub their neck or their face or whatever, and then you whisper in their ear, "Our balls are touching." And then when they try to let go, you squeeze even harder.
I feel like if we did that, we might start a fire, like with the friction.
Well, I thought it was because we're just so hot.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't want to sound vain, but no. Card Party was amazing. I can't wait for Generation 2. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would say with the platform that I have, I want to be very clear on one thing. And I know I've lost subs on it before, but I don't care. I don't care about subscriber numbers. I care about my subscribers, but I don't care about subscriber numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I always, always, always want to both promise and maintain the safe mental health community as part of the larger Pokemon community. I have always desired for my channel to be a place where people can talk openly about mental health concerns and not feel ashamed and get clinical perspective. So I put this out to you now, people of the chat. If I am ever a sellout, or if you feel that my channel is going in a direction that is not at its core, I mean, obviously we like to do funny, weird videos and have fun, but always keeping that core is so critical. So if I ever am deviating from that, I would appreciate if people would call me out on it, because I don't care about the money of YouTube. I don't care about the fame of YouTube. I don't care about reaching numbers. I care about being able to spread mental health as far as I can to every corner of the world that I can. So if I'm ever, a sellout McSkee's bag, please let me know. And also, I've decided that if by some miracle I ever hit 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to shave my beard off.
Oh, snap. Please, mods, share that link out everywhere. Share. Let's see what this man looks like with the child's face, because that's probably what's under there. It's a nice.
To be honest, I don't even remember I don't even remember what
yeah.
I was trying hard to think about it the other day, and I was like, fuck. I literally, even my mind's view of myself has a beard.
Has a beard. Yeah, like mine's the opposite, because I think I grew a beard one time since being out of the Navy, but I can't maintain. I can maintain it, and I liked it, but it just felt like it wasn't me, because I've had no beard for so long.
Yeah.
But again, thank you so much for coming on. Mods, please drop your own links. Please drop Josh's link. Everybody check him out when you can. when he is live. Amazing person. He does do nerd trivia, just trivia in general. He does trivia. You'll win prizes on his channel.
I do have one for you, by the way.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. In the 1989 Batman Michael Keaton film, what is the Joker's name prior to becoming the Joker?
Oh, they did give him. That's right. They did give him a name. It's not Joe Cool, because Joe Cool's the person who did. Because a lot of people thought he was Joe Cool, because in that. No, I'm not. I know that's not his name. I'm just saying a lot of people thought it was for a long time, because in that origin story of Michael Keaton's Batman, he is the one who killed Batman's parents. But in reality, Joe Cool is the person who killed Batman's parents. A fucking nobody. But what? Oh my God. I don't know. I'll take Jack. I know it's Jack. I just don't remember the last name.
Napier.
Damn it. Oh, I should have just looked at the chat, because Retro is like, Jack.
It was right there.
Jack. Yeah, it was right there.
You know,
but I also didn't want to cheat.
I do want to give you this opportunity, because nobody ever really gets to ask me trivia questions.
Oh, okay.
So I want to give the chat and you an opportunity to stump me. Okay.
Do you want it Pokemon, comics? What genre do you want? I'll be fair about it. Surprise me. I thought I said Sopranos. I was like, oh.
Don't do anime. I'm not super well versed in anime other than like Dragon Ball and like a few other ones.
Okay. I'll do a Dragon Ball one.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, because I don't know.
That's awful.
Okay. Okay. Let's go with what? Ooh, okay. I'll think. Let's see if chat can come up with the question before I can, because I know a lot of Pokemon ones. I just don't know. We'll just go with the basic of the basic Pokemon. Who is the first Pokemon? And I'll give you a hint. There's 4 answers.
Like the first Pokemon ever?
Yep. The first Pokemon ever. And there's technically 4 answers, and I will accept any of the 4.
Mew.
Yes.
There you go.
You could have said Bulbasaur, Rhydon, Mew, or Arceus. Do you know why Rhydon is considered one of the technical first Pokemon? Or do you know why any of those are technically the first?
Weren't they like some of the original designs?
So Rhydon is the original design of Pokemon ever. That was the first one that was ever designed. Bulbasaur is technically the first because he's number 1 in the Pokedex. Mew is the ancestor of all Pokemon, so the first of the kind. And Arceus because it's God, so it's number 1. Yeah. So yeah, Jay's in the chat going right on, or Bulba, Mew. Like Jay knew right away. Okay, Ken Frazen has one for you. Who created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and in what year? We talked about it, or we talked about the creator, one of the creators at least, earlier in this chat. But we did not talk about the year. He's not going to cheat, Ken. So if you can put the answers in the chat so there's proof, that would be awesome. But I know he won't cheat. He has a lot more moral high ground than that.
I'm covering the chat. I can't remember the creators off the top of my head, but I want to say was it 84?
I don't know the year it came out, but I want to say it was in the 80s.
Now I'm curious. Am I stumped?
84. You are correct.
Oh, I knew it.
Yep. Yeah. And then Kevin Eastman was the one we talked about earlier that I got his signature. Yep. Kevin Eastman and Peter Lard. Well, he says 1983, but Google says 84. So, I'll give you both. That's very close.
I knew it was like, because a lot of people think it's late 80s, but I knew it was like earlier 80s.
It's early 80s. Yeah. TNT Golem wants to know which Transformer has died the most.
Ooh. I'm not a big Transformers guy.
I'm not either, but I'm gonna guess Optimus Prime. Or
I'm gonna guess Megatron.
Megatron. All right, TNT, let us know who is correct, Optimus Prime or Negatron. While he's putting that in the chat, again, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for being such a great member of the community. The next guest next week, this is a new thing I'm going to try to start doing because I'm very bad at promoting my own people and my guests. Next week, and you're probably going to be mad, like, oh, you promote him but not me. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be that way. Next week's guest is going to be Opossum Bud.
Oh man, I'm not even mad. I'm just sad. I really want to meet that guy.
Well, hopefully, there's going to be another group podcast. Hopefully he can come in on that one. But yes, Optimus Prime. Oh, it's a tie. They both have died the most, according to TNT Golem. I've gotten an auto from both from conventions in '85 in Michigan with a sketch. That's cool. That would be. I really next time I go to like conventions, I want to get a sketch from an artist. But depending on where you're at, they charge so much for sketches now.
Yeah.
But yes, next week, keep an eye out. Opossum Bud is going to be the next guest on a community conversation. Come in the chat, ask him some questions because I know a lot of you guys have some opinions about his product.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, when the next group chat comes around, the group podcast, he will be in it. I'll try to schedule that a lot better so more people can come in and it's not as last minute. But thank you again so much, Josh, and please go subscribe to him. Great content, great trivia, great person, human being all around. Until next time, guys, my name is Gonzo, and please collect how you want to collect. Peace.